it's all about the clap back. Get your boss whack, premier's funeral on Snapchat. You now tuned into the bag.
I'm just pulling up, I don't know what this money been doing to me. I just been buying foreign cars and blowing bands on jewelry. And I'm pulling up with that.
What's good, y'all? Fist Vegas, the hardest voice of sports. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the Fist, you know, while you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Listen, happy birthday, Hov, man. I ain't saying happy birthday to Jay-Z all day. Know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hov. I'm 31 years old, man. I still remember growing up and my older cousins like playing them new Rough Rider tracks, playing them new Jay-Z tracks, man. Jay-Z used to have the summers on lockdown back up there in New York, man. Shout out to Hov, man. And I'm talking the real Jay-Z. I'm talking about Jigga. You know what I'm saying? Not the billionaire. I'm talking about the skinny nigga on the boat. I'm talking about Jay-Z wearing the bulletproof vest, rapping to the streets is watching. I'm talking about cough up a lung where I'm from, Marcy. I'm talking about that Jay-Z, the Jay-Z that I grew up on. Not this Jay-Z that y'all grew up on, who's a sports agent married to Beyonce. I'm talking about that Jay-Z that said, if I shoot you, I'm brainless. But if you shoot me, you famous. What's a nigga to do? I'm talking about that Jay-Z. But anyway, on to the Steelers. Speaking of that steel and clapping that steel, on to the Steelers. Is this team for real? Or is this a figment of our imagination? Is this a mirage? If we drink the wine, is it going to turn to sand? Okay, this is what I want to know. Now, I'm a firm believer in, I don't give a damn how hard, I don't give a damn how soft, I don't care if you win every game by a point. 11-0 is 11-0. The team is legit. You can't fake your way into 11 straight wins. You can't do it. You can't do it. They beat Baltimore twice. Once with Lamar, one without. They beat Tennessee. So what are we talking about? They beat the Giants. I mean, for real, they beat the whole NFC East. I know that may not sound like a big deal, but let's keep it $150 here. Going into the regular season, everybody said Carson Wentz was the top 5 quarterback. He beat them. Who's been the hottest team in the NFL besides the Chiefs, besides the Saints, and besides the Steelers? It's been the Giants. Giants won 3 of their last 4. And then, if you want to take it a step deeper, when they beat Tennessee, wasn't Tennessee undefeated? Cleveland. They've beaten Cleveland. Cleveland's 8-3. It's not like the Steelers is out here beating up chumps. It's not like the Steelers have a soft schedule. The Steelers play one of the roughest divisions in the league. Y'all love Joe Burrow. Y'all slurp Joe Burrow. They bodied Joe Burrow. You smell me? So it's like they beat Deshaun Watson. So it's like I look at this team and I'm like, yo, they're legit. You got wins over 8-3 Cleveland. You got wins over Tennessee. You got wins over Deshaun Watson. You got wins over Lamar Jackson. Their schedule ain't been sweet. You smell me? So I'm looking at it from a situation where everybody wants to poo-poo the Pittsburgh Steelers. Didn't the Saints have a letdown game versus the Oakland Raiders? Didn't they have a letdown game versus Green Bay? Last time I checked, Saints got 2 losses. That same Raider team, didn't they beat Patrick Mahomes? He had a letdown game. Patrick Mahomes was home against the Raiders. He took them lightly. They upset him. So I look around the league and I'm like, bro, there's no letdown games with the Steelers as of lately. You gotta respect 11-0. Now they did lose Bud Dupree. They lost what's his name, Devin Bush. I think their stud middle linebacker, the guy who took over the helms from Shazier, they lost a stud middle linebacker. They lost their second best pass rusher, or you can say he's every bit as good as TJ Watt. I'll let Steelers fans debate that between Bud Dupree, TJ Watt. I'll let Steelers fans debate that. All I know is the boy Bud Dupree got 9 sacks right now, and there's 5 weeks left in the season. So the boy Bud Dupree was on pace to have like 14, 15 sacks. So I'll let Steelers fans debate that one. Deontay Johnson been in and out of the lineup. You know what I'm saying? Juju practices on and off every single week. Big Ben hasn't played in a year. And this team is popping. James Conner going through his COVID crap right now. And I just look at the Steelers and I'm like, bro, why doesn't nobody talk about Big Ben for MVP? I'm under the assumption that if this man goes 16-0, I don't give a damn what Mahomes' numbers look like. You can't have Big Ben go 16-0 and not give him MVP. But Fisk, Big Ben's numbers, they're not good, Fisk. Big Ben's numbers, they suck, Fisk. What you mean his numbers suck? He's 25 touchdowns and 6 picks. He's 25-6. He's going to throw another 10 touchdowns. He's going to throw at least another 10 to 15 touchdowns over the next 5 weeks. Because let me see. Big Ben is 25-6, right? He's 25-6. On his schedule, Big Ben plays the Cockroaches on Monday. He's at Buffalo. He's at Cincinnati. He's home for Indy. And then he has a game versus Cleveland. You can't tell me over the next 5 weeks Big Ben ain't about to throw another 15 touchdowns. Big Ben might finish with 40 touchdowns. If he finishes with like 35 to 40 touchdowns and goes 16-0, he's got to be the MVP. Everybody's disrespecting a 16-0, an 11-0 team, and I don't understand why. Nobody wants to talk about how trash the run game is for the Steelers. The Steelers' run game is trash. Trust me, I know. I actually watched them weekly because from a fantasy perspective, I'm not going to lie to you, it's from a fantasy perspective. I have Eric Ebron, I have Deontay Johnson, and most importantly, I have James Conner. So I find myself watching Pittsburgh games a lot because I have a lot of their players. And when I tell you they can't run the ball, the Steelers cannot run the ball. They can't. It's not like it used to be. So Big Ben doesn't get enough credit for carrying a team with no run game. The defense gets hurt, it gets more and more banged up every week. Nobody's talking about Big Ben for MVP. This team went 8-8 last year. They're already 3 games better. So how can a guy, if they go 16-0, if the Pittsburgh Steelers go 16-0, how can Big Ben not be the MVP when he is literally 8 games above replacement? Ain't that what they do in baseball with Mike Trout? They justify giving Mike Trout a bad MVP on a bad team because it wins above replacement. Can't we do that in football since PFF want to make everything in football analytic driven? Can't we just say Big Ben's wins above replacement is better than Mahomes? Can't we do that? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the dude is worth 8 wins. He's gonna have the numbers. 35 to 40 touchdowns is nothing to sneeze at. I don't see what there is to talk about. I don't understand why people are disrespecting the Steelers, saying they're the worst undefeated team they've ever seen. Undefeated is undefeated. I watched Tom Brady win games off bullshit for 20 years in New England. Ain't nobody say a word. But now all of a sudden, the Steelers want to clutch out games at the end, and everybody want to call them trash. Come on, man. Enough is enough. It's time y'all put some respect on Big Ben. Put some respect on this Steelers team. They're the real deal. Mike Tomlin is a legit coach. And by the way, speaking of the Patriots, the Steelers might actually go to a Super Bowl because they don't have to worry about Belichick and Brady. They don't got to worry about Belichick and Brady. I feel confident in Big Ben at home versus Mahomes. I feel confident in Big Ben. He can win that. So put some respect on this Steelers team, man. Quit playing with me. That's it. That's all. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas. and I'll prove this message.